Okay, so I don't usually do these sit down type of videos where I just talk to the camera. I like to be out, or I like to wear my camera so I'm actually doing stuff and you guys can actually see what I'm doing. But every now and again I get the urge to do a sit down video. I have Rufus the Dane on his bed, Neeson the Labrador, my guide dog, he's on the couch. You guys cannot see him. You might be able to see Rufus, for those of you who can see, I'm not too sure. Anyway, yeah, so the videos that I make are primarily to educate the sighted world, if you will, when it comes to the ability of blind people to live meaningful lives. So to live independently and to be happy and to do challenging things that they want to do and all that fun stuff. And every now and again I'm reminded just how far society still has to go when it comes to recognizing that just because somebody can't see doesn't mean that they cannot be a meaningful member of society. Um, um, so today, I was chatting with somebody and he asked me if my partner was around, and I'm like, no, Colleen has gone away for the day. She's actually staying overnight with one of our dogs at her aunt's house, and she'll be back tomorrow. And I'm like, why do you ask? What's up? And he's like, well, I'm trying to find somebody to feed my cat. I'm going away for the night, and I would like to find someone to look after my cat, just to feed my cat when I'm away. Um, and I'm like, well, I can do it. Like, it's no problem. If you show me where her food is and all that, no problem at all. And he's like, well, maybe she'll be fine until tomorrow. Like, maybe she'll be okay. And I'm like, no, no, man, it's okay. Like, I'm like, I have the time. I'm definitely willing to feed your cat if you show me where things are, like her food and her bowl and whatnot. And in my head, I'm like, here we go again. And like, this guy, super nice guy, very 21st century, and yet he's the perfect example of society's view of blind people. You know, they need help, they can't do it. Why would I want help from a blind person? You know, like simple. That it's a clear-cut example. Like I cannot give a better example than what I've just given. And it's frustrating for me. I'm a very able-bodied blind person, and what I mean by that is I'm very independent. I've done a lot in my life that many able-bodied people haven't or will never do. A lot of that is because of my disability. I am disabled. It is what it is. Like I'm not one of those people who is gonna get offended when somebody asks me about my disability or asks me what my guide dog does for me, or like people ask because they're curious. And a lot of people, when people with a disability are asked about their disability, a lot of people freak out. They take it as an invasion of their privacy, and the next thing you know, we have a world that we live in right now where you can't ask anybody anything because you're afraid to offend them. It's absolute bullshit, is what it is. To be honest with you, like where we are in society right now, it's just, I don't have a word that meaningfully sums up how I feel about that. Anyway, my disability, yeah, I'm blind. I'm pretty much totally blind. I have no usable vision. But that does not mean that I can't function in society. People think that if you take their vision away, you're taking away their ability to be independent, able-bodied people. And like, while I have no vision, my eyes don't work, I certainly have a vision in my head of what I want my life to look like, and I try every day to make my life fit with that vision. And yeah, it's just My disability has opened doors for me that may not have been opened for me if I could see. I've traveled the world. I've competed for Canada at the highest level of sport. And I'm going to venture a guess that there are no able-bodied people watching this video that have ever done something like that. And I'm just one example. And yet society still has this stigma when it comes to disabled people with a disability. Call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. I don't care. Like, I have a disability. I own it. I live it every day. Right? I have a guide dog. I'm out with him every day. People often come up and ask me questions about my guide dog, and I don't get offended. If I have the time, I stop and I educate them because they're curious. So yeah, so what happened today? It's just I know the guy. If he knew how rude he was being, he would never have addressed me the way he did. Should I bring it up to him and just explain my viewpoint and maybe like try to educate him? Yeah, I probably should, and I might. Do I let it bother me? I try not to, you know. But it's probably a fair statement to make that every independent blind person at one point or another during their life has been talked to or treated in a way that an able-bodied person would never be talked to or treated, and that's just life. You know, that's unfortunately that's the world we live in today. And I guess by my videos that I make and put out, I'm trying to change. I'm trying to change people's opinions one video at a time. Like I get comments on my videos. Oh, this is so inspiring. Like, you're such an awesome guy. I'm like, well, thank you, but just because I can go to the corner store by myself doesn't mean I'm an awesome guy. It just means I go to the corner store by myself. Like, thank you, but no thank you. Yeah, so I'm not sure if this is a rant video or not. It's something that I was just thinking about today because this instance happened to me today, and yeah, I'm sure other blind people watching this video can relate. And for any sighted people watching this video, sometimes you just need to think about what you're saying before you say it, and think about how the other person is going to I guess translate what you're saying, because sometimes you can be pretty insensitive without even realizing it, and this is what happened this morning. As I said, I don't think, in fact, I know the guy didn't mean it to come across like that, but it's hard not to come across like that. Long story short, I'm feeding his cat later. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear, because I can't read comments, interested to hear your comments below, your thought on this. Yeah, that's about all I got, so enjoy the rest of your day, and look forward to hearing some quality responses from you guys. Cheers.